Well, it's the third breakfast bar, but I don't think I'm going to hit five, unfortunately. It is Friday, December 30th, and I have come out to a location that I've been to before, but I have not been here in a much longer time than I planned. Last time I was here, I thought I would be back here sooner, and, well, one thing led to another. But I'm out at a park that I came to back when I was practicing with the landscape video after I bought the slider track. And I found a park that the Colorado River goes through, and I came and I got shots on the river and everything. And I met a nice man who also does bird photography out here at this park regularly. And I expected to see him more often, and I kind of forgot. And then there were other places that I wanted to visit. I think right after that I went to Rocky Mountain National Park, so that became a focus. Anyway, I'm here now on not the best of days. My plan was to make it out yesterday, but I woke up yesterday morning and looked, and there were about blah, blah, blah. There had been about a foot of snow dropped. And I don't feel like going out in fresh snow. Even though it was going to be sunny later in the day, the roads wouldn't have had time to be cleared, and it would be, not fun to go walking about. I still will be walking through snow here, but it has been a day. And there's more snow coming in 4 hours, 3 hours, so I won't be long. If it starts to snow, that's the end of the day right there. Get back, get home. But I think I should have a good 3 hours before it starts to snow, according to the forecast. So it'll be cloudy. There won't be a lot of sun. I'm going to do what we can do. I'm going to get the big lens on the camera. I'm going to get the big jacket on. I got 2 gloves, and I'm going to bundle all the way up, put the big lens on the tripod or the monopod, and go for a walk and see if I can see anything. That's the plan. Also, the reason why I said I don't think I'll get to 5 over this vacation is because there's predicting snow through the rest of it, and we are down to 1 car after all the car troubles things that I talked about. So when she got to go back to work, I can't take my car and just do whatever I want to with it until we can get the car fixed, which will be a few weeks for them to get the parts in to fix the throttle, and then an even longer time period before we do the boot axles, which I looked up, and that one is not as much of an immediate threat to we will have to get it done within the next month or so probably, but they talked about the warning sign of if you hear clicking when you turn and things like that. Hopefully that information is accurate because it was from a few different sources on the internet. Either way, the throttle's got to be taken care of right away because that prevents her from driving. So in the meantime, she will use my car. Anyway, wildlife, let's go. Yep, through the snow. And away we go. It has begun snowing. Thankfully, it is just a little bit so far. There were an occasional few snowflakes throughout the day, but as soon as it really started picking up, I was already headed back because I was getting tired, and now the snow has truly begun, but it is very light, which is good. I will be able to get home before it gets too heavy, I'm sure. So I'm going to title this video, "Oh, Here Are the Birds," which is a reference to an old Family Guy episode. I don't remember, one of the early seasons. I quote it all the time with some of my siblings. He says something about the cutaway line is something like, "Oh, this is worse than when I got lost at Bed Bath & Beyond." Or is it something like that? Or does he says something like, you want to avoid that Beyond section or something like that. And it shows him like in a Bed Bath & Beyond, and it's just like the double doors leading to a back room, but it says Beyond. And he goes into it and then starts floating through space, and there's all this stuff going on, and he's screaming, and then all of a sudden he stops. He goes, "Oh, here are the coffee mugs." I just like quoting. I'll quote that from time to time. Just, "Oh, here's the," whatever. "No cars coming as we get back out onto the main road." Excellent. Okay. So I say that because I found birds. I didn't think it would be that difficult to do. Turn my lights on. Yes, this is a good place. I will be back for sure. I should have remembered what the man told me last time about it being a good place. I expect to be back here a good bit. Although we talked about spring with the birds that were coming back. Recording audio, yes. Recording video, yes. Good. So, right from the get-go, getting out of the car, haven't even, put the camera on the monopod yet. Yep, there's somebody getting all ready to start plowing. Start keeping the roads clear as it comes down. Right from the get-go, as I was getting and walking away from the car before actually getting into the park, and I see a rabbit there in the snow, and I can't get my camera ready in time to get a picture of that one. I'm like, all right, well that's a good sign though, and go a little bit further on, another rabbit, and that one I did take some pictures of from the back, because it was keeping an eye on me and moving further into the shrubbery. And then we go along a little ways, and I'm walking along the same path that I've gone down. This particular park used to be driving through and camping, and they have closed all that off, and done a bit more of they put the campgrounds somewhere else across the street, and then just closed it to all vehicle traffic. But it is essentially what used to be a road that you walk down. So I was walking down this road alongside the river, keeping an eye and ear out, and I see and I hear crows and magpies, and I can actually get pictures of them. And let's see what else. I could hear other things, and I saw something smaller for a second, but too quick for me to get the camera. Trying to remember. I went along a ways, almost back to the bridge. Speaking of, I'm going over a bridge currently. That's what they say when they mean bridge can be slippery. There's a bit of a little weeble wobble there, and it didn't fall down. Anyway, I go for a good bit, and I'm going. It's probably about an hour at this point, and I've seen some stuff, so that's exciting. And then I see something bigger in the trees, another bird, and I managed to take some pictures as best I could, because it's amongst tree branches all over the place, so trying to focus on the further ones is more of a challenge. The autofocus doesn't do it, so I try manually focusing, and I do what I can. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was either a crow or a magpie because it had the pointy beak, it had a longer beak, but it also had a crown. The little up and down. Up and down is not a good way to. A little peak on the top of its head, right? Get you to not bounce around so much. Yeah. Hopefully that'll fix out. So I'm not entirely sure. It was very silhouetted, so I couldn't, and there's no sunlight today anyway. It is pure cloud coverage, so we'll see. Hopefully hopefully one of the pictures is enough for me to identify it with that stuff there, and it will come out as best it can, and I'll identify it and cut in, edit with what it is. Maybe. We'll see. Or just add the text onto the thing. I don't know. Anyway. At this point, we're going to do something a little bit differently. I'm just going to go through all of the photos that I've taken and talk about each one. And then we'll get back to that bird that I was talking about here in a minute. This first one was just an image of test to make sure the camera's working. And it's really pretty to see the different textures of the landscape, the nature, foliage. The second photo is, of course, the bunny. Very cute. We have a magpie in flight, which I actually found out had something in its beak. Not at the time, but during editing. That's pretty cool. Not the best, but pretty cool. Again, this is a cool shot because of the landscape. Here we actually managed to see a bird in flight. If you could tell, it seems to mostly be landscape through this photo, but if you look, there is actually a bird right there. Some kind of mallard, I assume. Hard to tell. We have a magpie sitting on a branch. There's some snow covered, and you actually see, oh look, it moved. And it goes to jump to the other side. And there it was after either coming and landing again, and I took another photo, or it had jumped around, but it was kind of cool to see all the snow falling. This is just a picture of a nest that I saw. I thought that was interesting. I'm trying to capture more of the area and not just the birds themselves. Expand myself a little bit. This was just, I like the way this pattern looked for these plants here. The way that and I even got closer, zoomed in a bit. I just like the way the two of them kind of, not exactly mirrored each other, but they made a cool pattern within the two. Not the best. We had some cover right in the front, but this is a crow just with its wings spread. I think I'm just excited to see birds at this point. Here we go. This is where we start getting into. So this is this type of bird, and I see it, I hear it up in the trees. It's very high up, and I start taking pictures of it. We get a little bit closer, and if any of you have already identified what it is, makes sense. Took me another picture there, but you can start to see it's got big beak, the crown on the top of the head, pointy thing as I called it, and then we've got, to me at the time, this is all gray. Looking through the lens, I just see silhouette. It's only here in post where I'm actually able to lighten it up and see that there is some color to it there. And that is the Steller's Jay. I have confirmed it in 2 different bird books. That is the only thing that I see that has a gray and blue and the top of the head. We have it again a little bit. I was trying to take as many pictures as I could of it, of course. It moved at one point to another branch, and so we went and looked at it there. You can kind of see its beak. I was thinking at the time maybe this was some kind of woodpecker because of the beak. Oh, here it went to take off, and it's got a bit of it's just, you see its legs kind of still attached to the branch. That was just cool. I like that one. That one happened. Some landscape. I also was interested in taking pictures of the very snowy landscape that was out there through the telephoto lens. Here's another one that just, I left this one with the color. It's just very blue. It's really cool. As you can see, like, it's not just the way that the camera took it with the white balance, because there's still, I mean, it kind of is, but there's still, you can see color down there at the bottom, like the light pole and, or electric pole, whatever. So more blue trees, snow-covered trees. This was interesting with the Rocky Mountain. Took a picture of another nest. Took a picture of another different nest. Oh, and I saw some horses. Just somebody's farm is over there, but look, you got some fuzzy winter horses. You can see the hairs coming off of their chinny chin chins. Oh, this was interesting. This was just a sign that was out there for the park. And I thought it was interesting the way the snow had kind of piled up on the backside and then just dropped off the back and you could see it hanging. I thought that was cool. This was a point where I saw some more magpies and I was actually able to get some photos and video. Talk about that in a minute. They were just there in the trees, several of them kind of hunkered down, but then they kept kind of fighting with each other and chasing each other off, going from place to place. That was pretty cool. I wish that branch wasn't there right in front of it, but hey, I'll take what I can get at this point, especially. And then there was one point where it took off. That stuff. That was the end. So while I was standing there, I did the best that I could with video. So I'll go ahead and put that up now, and we'll take a look at that. That hopefully has come out. I haven't actually edited that part yet, so I don't know for sure. But, yeah. Magpies. Steller's J. Good stuff. So it is what it is with the footage. It's not bad. It's not the best, but it's better than nothing. I got to see a magpie. I'm thrilled about it. I've been wanting to get magpie on video, especially. I'd like to do more where they're not quite as behind the shrubbery, all of the sticks and branches and things, but I did what I could. The tough part is that I wasn't really set up to do video because I just had the monopod and the gimbal for the camera, so no matter what I do, it's very shaky. I tried to stabilize it as best I could here in post, but it is what it is. There was also a few minutes there where I did a little peekaboo with the horse almost. It spotted me, it saw me, and then I just kind of recorded it as it moved along. It got a little frisky there. Great time out. Glad that I got to see some stuff. Cold, but good. Good. We'll have to see if I can make it back out at any point this weekend, and then for the next couple weeks, it'll probably be weekends only, because I sometimes can squeeze it in on a Monday when I'm off on Mondays, but not if we're down to one car, so weekends only for a little bit, but hopefully that'll be good. I also will want to take a break after getting out as many times as I did manage to. We'll see. Maybe it won't snow as much as it's currently predicting. You know, weather always changes, so who knows? Who knows? Good times. Good stuff. Is that everything I think I saw? I think so. It's very interesting to see the differences as I came from winter to, well, from in the fall to the winter here. And one thing in particular, the fencing. I can see why it's all leaned over now, because, well, there's snow pushing on it. Yeah, good times.